What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Senestin Sits Down. I'm still working on that name. I really don't know what else to call it at this point, but I'm sitting down and we're talking about things. So welcome to the second channel. You guys probably saw the last video that I put out last week. That I recorded back in December, and I kind of already had this idea to do this kind of video where I was just sitting down and talking about random topics that came up because I am an opinionated person. I have a lot of things on my mind, and sometimes they're just not design related, so they don't really go on the main channel. So that's why we're here. So if you guys want to see more of this, then I will just do this more. These aren't going to be deep video essays with lots of research behind them. These are all just opinions. These are things that I have on my mind, and they're open to discussion. Sometimes my opinions may not be agreed upon by the general public, and if you have a disagreement that you want to voice and call me an idiot, do that. Really, this space is just meant to be more of an open area for people to talk about these topics that have crossed my mind. And I will point out that a good chunk of topics are probably going to originate from my frustration of reading through Twitter. I really try not to read through Twitter all that much, but sometimes it's good for providing video and content ideas, unfortunately. But that usually sends people down a rabbit hole because for some reason I still get recommended posts that I don't even actually regularly look at. They still pop up on my feed anyway, and then you get caught in this just endless thread of a bunch of people just with the worst possible takes known to man. I thought Reddit was bad. That said, I wanted to talk today about a topic that I'm surprised is still something that people are even talking about. Why are we still having this conversation? Race versus ethnicity versus nationality. I see it a lot with Latinos. For those of you who don't know, I am Hispanic. I was born in the US, but both of my parents are Mexican. I am Mexican American. Sí puedo hablar español. Técnicamente era mi primer idioma. The only reason I speak better English than I speak Spanish is because, well, I live in the US. My opportunities to speak Spanish have pretty much just been around my family, and I've been doing a lot better at improving in that regard. So I'm still fluent in Spanish. It's just, I don't get as many opportunities to speak it, so I sound a little funky sometimes when I speak it. That said, to some people it's not completely obvious that I am Hispanic. Some parts of me look a bit darker. I look brown. During the winter I'm at my lightest. In the summer I get dark as hell. It's actually not even funny the amount of shades that I change. That being said, I've had a lot of people try to guess what I was before. I've had people tell me that I look Filipino, which I've had Filipino friends confirm that I don't. So really don't know where that came from, to be completely honest. I've been told that I look Venezuelan. I've been told that I look Southeast Asian. My point is that I'm kind of ambiguous to some people for some reason. Maybe to some of you it's more obvious that I am Hispanic. I point all this out to say it kind of just goes to show that Latinos are usually grouped into this racial classification even though they're really not supposed to, and every time that you try to guess what I am, it kind of proves it more. Latino is not a race. And I think it needs to be clarified what is a race, what is an ethnicity, and what is a nationality. A race is mostly usually agreed upon to be defined as a social classification to group people into groups based on physical or behavioral traits. That's kind of the average definition you'll find on Google, on the internet. Ethnicity is based on culture, traditions, where you grew up in terms of geographical location. Nationality is what country you're from. So to kind of give an example, someone who is Iranian, for example, that is their nationality. They are from Iran. In Iran, you also have Kurdish people. Now, there is, of course, the push to make Kurdistan a completely autonomous country, a completely independent country, but that has still not happened. So any Kurdish person who is born in Iran is Iranian by nationality, but by ethnicity, they are Kurdish. Now, what then would be their racial classification? Some places do tend to group Middle Eastern people as a separate race. Overall, Middle Eastern people are Asian. They are from the continent of Asia, but they don't fit the stereotypical East Asian look that most people would assume kind of classifies you as Asian. But then you kind of like look at an Indian person, for example, or a Thai person. They don't really fit the look of a Korean or a Japanese person or a Chinese person, but they are still Asian. It seems weird, and that's why race as a classification is a little strange. But let's just go with a very simple example here. White, black, Asian, I would say are probably the three most common that you'll probably run into. Of course, there's also Native American, Pacific Islander. Those also count, of course. But white, black, and Asian. We're gonna start there. They're the most common you'll find. So, someone from Russia. Russia has a lot of groups of people, but if you walk around Moscow, you're probably going to find a lot of people with pale skin, blue eyes, and blonde hair. They are classified as white. Now, if you head over to Western Europe, to Spain for example, the white people are still there and you'll probably find some with blonde hair. There's a good chance if you go to Spain, you're going to find a lot more people that have brown hair or black hair. Probably even brown eyes or maybe even green eyes. Their skin is definitely still on the more pale side, but they tan a lot more easily. They're still classified as white, and that's mainly because, one, their skin, although it can tan better, it probably only gets about as dark as maybe just about what I'm at right now. And granted, right now I am at my lightest. I am not very dark right now. This is probably about as dark as they'll get, but they still have very European facial features. That is one thing that does classify people as white. Very European facial features. So when you take that classification and then you move to, say, Latin America. Now we're in Mexico. Let's walk around. First, when you hear someone say, nah, that guy, he ain't black, he ain't white, he Mexican. Okay. While it might be true, that doesn't exactly tell us his race. If he looks anything like me, he would technically be classified as mestizo. Mestizo is a word meaning essentially mixed race, but specifically mixed Native American, European. I myself would be classified as mestizo, so if I was to have to write down what race I am, technically I am mixed race. I'm not fully white, and I'm not fully Native American. I'm half and half essentially. Some of my features are more on the European side, some are more on the native side. Now, for me, it would be completely true. Yeah, sure, you could say he is Mexican. Doesn't really answer my race question, but you're not wrong, I am Mexican. If you tell me, hey, he is Latino. Yes, I am Latino. There's a lot of places, for example, if you go to the Ciudad de Mexico or Guadalajara, you're gonna find a lot of white people, and you're gonna think they're just like American tourists or something. No. Actually, Mexico, like the US, is actually very racially diverse, and people tend to not know this. Here in the US, a lot of people picture Mexicans as just being a bunch of short mestizos that have a little bit of a beer belly going on. They picture the guys with the weird mustaches at the Home Depot waiting for a truck to pick them up to go to work. But the reality is, Mexico is extremely racially diverse. I would say almost as much as the US. You will find white people, you will find Asian people, you will find black people, you will find mixed race people all over the country. Have any of you seen Canelo Alvarez? People will think that he's just some sort of exception. No, there is a lot of white people that look like they're fresh from Ireland or from Norway in Mexico, and they are Mexicans, born and raised. They speak fluent Spanish. Would it be correct to say that they are Latino? Yes. Latino means anyone who is from Latin America. That means anyone who is from Mexico, Honduras, Panama, even Brazil. Brazil, they speak Portuguese. They don't speak Spanish, but they are still Latinos because Portuguese is a Latin country. Now, what if someone's from Guyana or Suriname? They're not classified as part of Latin America because the main languages there are not Latin languages. Same applies to Belize, for example, where the main language is English. And for those of you who don't know, Guyana, the main language is English. Suriname, the main language is Dutch. Take Argentine people, for example. A lot of them are very white. Yes, they have mixed race people in Argentina, but a lot of them are very European looking. They are Latinos. They are Hispanic people. And if you put us next to each other, you're probably gonna guess that I'm the Latino and he came straight from Austria. My point being, Latino, Hispanic, is not a race. And it annoys me when I see a lot of Latin descended people here in the US, usually just here in the US, really. They try to tell people, no, I'm not white. I am Hispanic. I am Latino. I am Mexican. Yes, while that might be true, you could still be white. You could still be black. You could still be Asian. Those are three different things. Nationality is one thing. My nationality is I'm American. I'm from the US. I'm American through and through. It's just how it is. I was born here. If I obtain dual citizenship, then I have 2 nationalities. There is an interview that was done where a British white guy was born in Japan. He still has Japanese citizenship. His nationality is Japanese. The Japanese don't necessarily like to say he's Japanese, and according to his interview, he doesn't like saying he's Japanese, but in terms of nationality, he's Japanese. Ethnically, he's not. Racially, he's not Asian, he's white. But nationality, he is Japanese. So racially, I am mixed race. In terms of nationality, I am American. Ethnically, you could argue that Mexican would be an ethnicity because Mexicans have different cultures and customs than Guatemalans, Hondurans. We have different customs than Colombians. A lot of us can look the same or very similar because of our geographical location and what countries we're from. We have different customs, different cultures, different foods and musics. Big example with this to finish this off, Dominicans. Oh, you guys are gonna hate this. Not every Dominican is black, but there are a lot of Dominicans that are black. And they're gonna say, no, I'm not black, I'm Dominican. Sure, yes, you are Dominican, but racially, you are black. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. Ethnically, you're Dominican. In terms of nationality, you're Dominican. Racially, you're black. There's nothing wrong with it. You're just black. I don't know what to tell you. So to finish off, if someone asks you your race, you're not Mexican. That's not your race. Mexican is not a race. You're not Latino. Latino is not a race. You're not Hispanic. Hispanic is not a race. That is what language you speak. A Hispanic person is someone who speaks Spanish. Someone who has ancestry to a Spanish-speaking country. A Spaniard is Hispanic. Someone from Equatorial Guinea is Hispanic. And Equatorial Guinea, if you guys don't know, is an African nation where they speak Spanish. A good chunk of those people are, of course, they're black, but they're also Hispanic. Just like in Mexico, a lot of the mixed race people are Hispanic. You see how it won't be a race? I'm not black. I won't look like my Hispanic brothers and sisters from Equatorial Guinea. That's kind of why you can't make Hispanic a race. It doesn't work. So please, for the love of God, stop saying Mexican or Latino or Hispanic is your race because it's not your race. That's not how that works. Anyway, hope you guys did enjoy this rant, I suppose. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. Follow me on all my socials. Follow me on the main channel. Follow me on the new clips channel where I'm going to be posting things like stream clips and gaming clips. That's all going to go on there. Subscribe here. Follow me here if you guys are just want to see more discussions come up. It's going to be every Wednesday, so that's going to be fun. It's just going to give me a chance to really just sit down and yap for a long time. Probably not going to be super highly edited videos because I just want to keep them somewhat authentic, but obviously there's still going to be editing in here. That said, hope you guys did enjoy, and wherever you guys are, whenever you guys are watching today's video, have a great, wonderful day. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.